50. That will be 50. Now, you can't do that. The mark had been taken. He was shoved straight over. Brendan Carlin deliberating. That is a 50-metre penalty, so it'll be a certain goal.
Well, Manning will be delighted about that because he was the one that infringed and has now pumped the ball down to that forward line, Jared.
Yes, I'm sure Kevin Sheedy at quarter time would have said that he owed them one, but it looks like he's paid back in kind a lot quicker. But that was purely inexperience from Craig Nettlebeck.
Bradley playing for his third goal. Kicks. And right through the middle. So a good effort from Bradley playing, coming back to the side after injury. 4-4, plays 3-5, so the margin 5 points.
Yes, well, here we see the ball coming out of the centre. It was quite an easy tap. Manning gets the ball quickly down on the short Sydney ground to a Bradley plane who takes an easy chest mark, but is in.
And he's doing very well in his comeback game after injury. I think it was an Achilles tendon.
Yes, had an Achilles tendon problem, Peter, and he's quite a talented player. I'm sure Sheedy is very pleased to have him back.
You didn't treat him, did you, Jared, in your physiotherapy business?
Well, he's back pretty quickly, so every chance I did.
Well, Bradley playing the Tasmanian, and well, Collingwood could have had him many years ago from 50 metres. Oh, wobbly kick straight off the side of the boot. Well done by. Well, he's dropped the sitter to him. Read it well. Peter Philandia on the right, Kevin Sheedy, the coach, on the left, and
on to Anderson. Greg Anderson, clever kick as he pulls it round his body, and Simon Madden called from behind. It was his ball. Gee, Bradley playing. Got up high and then just sat for a moment.
It's his night, Bradley playing. And good play by little Adrian Burns. He was going to take that mark.
Well, young Plain, he got up there beautifully. He wasn't showing any signs of an Achilles problem then when he jumped up on the shoulder.
As high as the Ansett plane we flew up on. Madden from 40 metres has goal. So the Bombers answer the challenge. Simon Madden kicks his first and a critical one, because that really is the ball game for this first term.
Well, Bradley Plain runs straight at the goals in a straight line, as I'm sure he was coached.
Plain's in the square if he wants him. But he won't. He'll have a shot. Distance is not a problem. Bradley Plain has booted 3. Simon Madden kicked one on the siren virtually in the first quarter. So this to cut the margin to just 1 goal. Simon Madden, most experienced man on the ground, heads for goal and puts it straight through the middle. Traps it, realises he's got a bit of time, and bang, pops through his full. Burns in the front, left foot snap. I think he's kicked it. He has.
Madden, will he give it on the plane? No, he stabs in a goal and misses, or did he? Might be a goal. Let's have a look. Yes.
And Plain's now got his third opponent. Bernard Toohey is now picking him up, and it appears that nobody can stop this fella tonight.
He's booted 4 from 8 kicks. 3 goals in the first quarter, 1 to date in the second. From 45 metres. And he has now kicked 5. Fine effort by Bradley Plain. And the Bombers again answer the challenge. 9-9 plays 7-9.
Well, here we see on replay Simon Madden and the big moose going for the ball. But it was paid downfield to Bradley Plain, and he responds by kicking his 5th goal and 2nd for the term.
They move on to 10-9, Sydney 8-11.
Well, Peter, I made this point last week about players slipping over, and we'll see here Ian Roberts goes to the ground wearing moulded soles. It's cost the Swans a goal, and Mark Harvey finishes off with a nice left foot goal.
First half here at the SCG. Essendon a 10
to goal. Well, that stems the tide slightly with that goal from McMullen. 11-11 plays 11-9.
And once again, we see a beautiful kick from McMullen. Straight through, no wind affecting that kick whatsoever, but the big...
Good strong mark.
And once again, the front position. Wayne Henwood must take the front position from this player. He's too tall to play from behind. his long arms go up and he takes what is quite an easy mark in the finish.
Somerville looking for his first goal, and this for Essendon to wrestle back the lead. From 20 metres out directly in front, he makes no
tackle.
Anderson, centering kick. Plain in it. Look at that defensive fist, but straight to O'Brien, who flicks over his body. It may bounce through, and it has. A much-needed goal for Essendon. Craig O'Brien for Essendon has kicked his first.
And here we see a big punch from Wayne Henwood, but it was well sharked from Craig O'Brien on the 50-metre mark. Hooked it round his body, and it was quite a long kick for one that comes around the body, a la Malcolm Blight.
A little bit stiff, Henwood. I mean, a 30-metre punch like that, as good as a kick and straight to O'Brien, but it was an excellent snap kick. Oh, there's Mitchell. Was tackled. O'Donnell. Quick kick to the half-forward line. We'll need another one, the Bombers. Oh, punched on by Long was excellent football. All two, he nearly unloaded. This is a terrific game of football. McKenzie to Murphy. Murphy with a attempted short one. A good mark by Carroll. On to Mitchell. Can he get it on? Yes, he can. Here's danger for Essendon because Williams has got it to Bays. Bays, the snap on the left foot. Nettlebeck, oh, dropped the mark. He should have taken that one. And Essendon been let off the hook. Danaher, wide. Finds Anderson. Oh, Craig Nettlebeck will regret that one. Izzard can't take it. Two men to beat. Ian Roberts after it. Off the ground. Looking for Mitchell. And it will be a throw-in on centre wing.
Parochial crowd giving Sydney great support. Somerville trying to flick behind, finds Izzard. Wanganeen a touch, but that was all. Eustace under pressure from Burns. Plain comes in, body over the ball. Ian Roberts there also. The umpire says he'll have it. 3 goals, the margin. And in today's game, not a lot. Anderson does the ruck work. Izzard. Oh, he's caught, and well caught. Back to Anderson, thrown out by Philandia. Spirals it in towards full forward. Danger here for Sydney. McMullen may have to soccer off the ground. He does, but it's gone wide. In fact, will remain in play. He has another attempt and puts through a behind. Sydney defence being tested, but working well. Under 4 minutes remaining.
The Moose. Wayne Henwood about to bring it back into play. Is a lovely kick actually. Takes 3 or 4 paces and then bang. Let's have a look. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 4 paces and then out the Bays. And a good strong mark by Bays. And talk about kicking a football. This man is a delight to watch. Look at that. Perfect drop punt, 60 metres to centre wing Anderson. 2 bites of the cherry. And they need this man firing, Essendon. Almost 50 metres. As Kelly almost came across the mark then. Anderson, a beautifully directed kick, finds Alan Izzard. Now the lead is on if he goes short. Out he comes. Is that Madden? Oh, good mark, Simon Madden. A brilliant mark as he popped one right across the ear. Now Simon Madden's played an excellent game. He's kicked 3.
And there he is, Simon Madden. He really is a marvel. Taking what was probably one of the most difficult marks of the night with the interference of a smack in the jaw as the ball hit his hands.
Now the distance might be a doubt, but it is normally a beautiful kick. The drop punt slightly to the left, and it is thumped over the line and through for a behind. But he's done well tonight, Simon. What a great player he's been. 16-12, and still is for that matter. 16-12 plays 13-14 as Wayne Henwood. Big legs he's got, Gerard.
And I just feel this game is really in the balance now. The Essendon are really getting their act together, it appears, and the Swans are going to have to be pretty careful that they don't let this lead that they've worked so hard for slip.
Henwood to Tui. Time ticking away in this third quarter. Bays wide on the wing. Can't quite get there to complete the mark, but he just taps on to try and accommodate Higgins, who's under pressure from Considine. Taken by O'Brien. Centering kick for Plain. Short again. And they've just steadied things down, Essendon. They've snuck back into this game in the last couple of minutes. Ian McMullen has a chance to make the margin just 10 points. And won't we be in for a thrilling last quarter? He may have just pulled it a little too far, however. One behind. Sure, Kevin Sheedy will have plenty to say at three-quarter time, which is under 2 minutes away. 108 plays 93.
Well, those shots at goal are basically straight up and down for an experienced league player, and the real danger in those shots is that it deflates the whole side. Everybody up the ground is working most hard to get the ball forward, and if they see an easy opportunity go astray, well, then it is quite deflating.
Wayne Henwood. Again, he takes his time about this kicking in. I think he likes to actually find out a man and try and pass it to him. Now he's found one. Ian Roberts, who's looking for Izzard, will be the flyer. Just dragged off it at the split second. There's Greg Williams with a very clever kick round the boundary line and over right on centre wing. Greg Williams, well, we think he's been reasonably quiet, but he's still been a pretty valuable player with that slick handball of his. There's Somerville was grabbed, no free kick. McMullen over the top, and eventually it's forced to the line by Kelly. Been a good player, young Paul Kelly, number 14, kicked one magnificent goal. He picked it up with one hand and slammed it through from 50 metres. Somerville, to ground, here's Stephen Wright to the half-forward line, and this should bounce over and out, and does.
Sydney have it down almost into their attacking zone. Somerville front spot again. Lewis gets through and onto the left foot. It's high. Doesn't gather a lot of distance. Hamilton chances his arm. It was a difficult bounce. He did well to get a touch. Kappa at the bottom of that pack. Anderson trying to sneak out the back door. Not to be, and we'll see a bounce at half forward for Sydney. Somerville goes it alone. Love picks it up. Hurried kick. Danaher held by Kappa. This time the umpire didn't see it. Kappa gets the advantage. Shoots. Has goal. The Bombers facing defeat for the first time. Sydney going for their second successive win. What a boost it would be for them here. O'Brien goes to half forward looking for Plain. Couldn't take it with the one hand. McMullen has it fed out to him, and this will be a goal thanks to Alan Izzard. Great play by Izzard to get it to him. And just the start the Bombers wanted. 17-12 plays 14-15.
Yes, well, I'm sure that's the start that Cole Kinnear was dreading. We see Craig O'Brien get the quick kick out of the centre, all important on the SCG. Plain wrestles with Tui, comes to the crumbs. Izzard, quick handball out to McMullen, and he kicks with the left foot for a fairly easy goal.
Very good goal that, starting with Craig O'Brien. Somerville versus Mackenzie. No decisive hit out, but Somerville on the second chance. If the left-hander was a good one. There's Cordy. A quick kick to the half-forward line. The mark taken by Ed Considine. Dangerous few minutes here for the Swans. They would not want Essendon to start off with a couple of quick ones. Somerville, who just gets better and better. This could be a really big year for Peter Somerville. He's been around for a while, has had a lot of opportunities, spent a lot of time on interchange over the years. Here's McMullen. Oh, he's got Madden loose if he can get it to him. Simon Madden marks. 15 metres out, very slight angle, and what a great start by the Bombers. Plays on, handball, goal to Kransberg. Well, the Bombers on fire. Kransberg's first goal, 17-12 to 15-15.
And fairly loose checking by the Swans there, even to allow Simon Madden just to slip that easy handball over the top, which made a certainty of the goal. We see McMullen, beautiful skills displayed once again, pinpointed the pass to Simon Madden, who took quite a difficult mark, and as we saw, resulted in a goal following a handball over the top.
9 points the margin. What a thriller. And wherever you're watching it, we hope you're enjoying it. Somerville tries to get it out of the centre. Here they go. O'Brien. Long kick towards Madden territory. Too strong, too tall.
Well, if anybody doubts the importance of the centre square on this ground, the last three only will be the indicators of it. Essendon have come out quickly, bang, 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 and they're about to wipe out the deficit that the Swans had worked so hard for in the third quarter.
This for goal number 4 to Simon Madden, but more importantly to cut Sydney's lead. He has goal. The margin is 3 points.
Well, Simon Madden is really having a telling influence on this game. Once again, we see Somerville up over Warren McKenzie. He gets it quickly down to their on-ball players. A bit of a push out, well within the rules of the game though, and Madden takes a strong mark against two Swans opponents.
Good little handball in that passage by Philandia, and as you say, the centre bounce area just so important, and Essendon are just getting it out too easily at the start of this last.
And they're going to have to look at putting Bays onto the ball.
Three points the margin. This has happened oh so quickly. There's Bays. Just took his eyes off it slightly. Considine working hard. Wanganeen, and the Bombers go forward again. Very, very impressive. The start of this quarter should be a mark coming up here, and it is. Ian Robertson. What they need now is a quick goal themselves. Tui. Lovely pass. Bays should kick his normal 65 metres. He does. To half forward. They try and rush it forward to Swans. Here's Gary O'Donnell. He loses it. Considine. Well done, Ed Considine. Beautifully done to Anderson. Anderson, the short chip. And he's found Izzard, who has added a bit of life up forward. Alan Izzard. Off he goes. Plenty of pace.
Oh.
Kicks straight to Dennis Carroll, who marks almost in the centre of the ground.
He's had a good game, Dennis Carroll, but really will be relied on in this last quarter.
Goes towards the middle. Fisted down to O'Brien. He's got Long running through the corridor. Michael Long from 51 metres. A high kick. Played at the back. It'll bounce through for a goal. Or will it be a free kick? It's a goal.
The Bombers in front by 3, but they won't lie down, the Swans. Here's Bays over to Mitchell. Now it's Stephen Wright. Wright, a sweeping hand pass to Murphy. David Murphy off balance as he kicked. Nettlebeck at the back. Is that a mark?
Out of bounds.
Umpire called play on, so that will be a throw-in. Now the second bite might have been over the line, and that's why the umpire didn't pay the mark. Now let's have a look at it again. He got first bite, second bite. Well, I think I was a bit stiff actually in the finish.
Yes, well, Craig Nettlebeck dropped a telling mark in that third quarter, and I guess he was a little bit unlucky on that occasion.
The Bombers by 3 points. Bays versus Somerville. Bays gets it down to Stephen Wright. Dennis Carroll. Shane Hurd. Oh, he threw that. And the Bombers get out of trouble. This is Michael Long. When he gets it, there's always danger. At the back was Ian Roberts. McMullen with pace to the forward pocket and over the line.
Anybody's game.
Well, Essendon and Sydney have had some amazing finishes in the last quarter up here in Sydney, particularly at night. And I guess, Sandy, this looks like being another one of the best.
I think you're right. Madden has been a dominant force down in that forward line. The big man plucks it out of the air. Henwood at the bottom tries to spoon it out. Really desperate stuff down in that forward line for Essendon.
Wasn't that interesting, Gerard, to watch the players then? Not one player tried to lay on top of the ball. They knew they'd be pinged. They all tried to hit it out.
Well, we haven't seen one tonight, have we?
No, I think they've been very good on that decision, the umpires.
And not one deliberate out of bounds. Cransburg. It's been paid. Izzard. Henwood on the last line. Well, they're under pressure now, Sydney. Can they answer the challenge? They're down by 3 points. As usual, Henwood takes his time, tries to pick someone out. Not successful on that occasion. Eustace gets a hurried kick, but it's straight to Somerville. Well, he'll pump Essendon deep into attack once more. Kick swing around, plain from behind. Couldn't take it. Carroll down in front. Socket clear, but straight to Michael Long. Long from 40 metres. Shoots in towards goal, and bang, there's another one of the Bombers.
Then they would be.
Well, they've got in their attacking zone. Can they capitalise on it? Danaher in from the side. Nettlebeck close to the line and over. Nine points the margin. After Sydney led by 21, it's going to go close under the high. At three-quarter time, their lead was 21 points.
Well, Peter Somerville's looming as the real danger for the Swans. I believe Colin Kinnear's option now is to put Mark Bays onto him to play him man on man.
8 points in it now. O'Brien from the back pocket. Goes long to the outer side. Essendon have got the runners at the back. Anderson, who's been very quiet, coming into it. McMullen a chance if it sits. He's beautifully tackled, gets it across to Madden, wants support and gets it from Considine. Don't tell me he's going to kick a goal. No, good desperation on the last line of defence. Sees it through from behind. 18-16. Ed would have been wrapped with that good throw. Henwood again.
The half-back line, Cransburg, gives it off the plane. Bradley Plain for goal number 6, stabs, and he's put it right through.
15 points the margin. Williams tries to do something out of the middle, but it goes straight to Harvey, who pumps back towards McMullen again, who's been serviceable. Wider to Cransburg. Izzard's in the pocket. He may get a shot here, Alan Izzard. He does. He steadies, he shoots, but he pulls it from behind. 1:15 plays 1:31.
Well, he's had a tagging role all night, Alan Izzard. First on Mitchell, then on to Stevie Wright. But Sheedy's put him up into the forward pocket, and we all know how dangerous he can be in that position.
Well, they've kicked 6 goals, and Sydney have kicked it behind this term. O'Donnell, Williams and Wright all run out of room.
Very impressive display this by Essendon. The win up here when the Swans are playing fairly well. That was Bays to Steve Wright. Mackenzie on centre wing, but it beats him over the line.
Gerard, at this stage, if you're in the coaching shoes for Sydney, what would you do?
Well, I think I've already indicated that I have Mark Bays up on the ball, and as we can see now, he is there lurking across the half-back line, and Warren Mackenzie, who took that knock, is now at centre-half forward.
O'Donnell off the ground. McMullen, a magnificent pickup. Onto Anderson. Anderson hooks it hard to the pocket. Cordy. Good attempt by Cordy. Beautiful football by Cordy. In fact, to Tui. Tui to the half-forward line. A stage for a free kick. A little bit of a nudge, but an Academy Award performance from Barry Mitchell gets him a free kick. Now Mitchell. Now Kappa's in the perfect position here. Almost took the mark. Harvey brought down by Kelly. Umpire calls play on. Anthony Danaher to Flood. And David Flood taps it over the line. But Kappa was in beautiful position. Probably should have taken that mark.
Yeah, so I guess it was a valiant attempt, but really, catches win matches, and that certainly was one of those.
On the throw-in. Holding on by both players. Right and Philandia. And little Philandia does it well. He does it beautifully to Izzard. Gets a bit of space now, goes onto the left foot looking for Plain. Couldn't take it on the half volley. His opponent too, he can, but Wanganeen's got him. Izzard again, a short kick past the middle. Long, a beautiful tackle by Michael Long, and he's been pinged. So here's a chance for Plain and number 7. Couple of bounces, 30 metres out. Plain shoots for goal and has kicked number 7. That's going to make it hard for Sydney. 2017 to 17-13.
And you'll see a turnover in the midfield here, which are all so costly when there's a skill error. A fantastic tackle there by Long. And you'll see 4 Essendon players on the screen to only 1 lone Swan. And that, I guess, indicates how this last quarter has developed.
Plain set them alight early. And he's helping finish the job. So great performances by Bradley Plain too. And top performance by Essendon as we see Carroll going forward towards Nettlebeck against Flood, and it's tapped over the line. We mentioned earlier, I say it's a great performance without Watson, Werner, Salmon, Walsh, Buick, Kickett, Williams, Thompson, Grenville, Terry Danaher, Fox and Bailey.
Well, without more than half a premiership team.
That is unbelievable performance up here because the Swans were doing well. And the Bombers, well, they've got that much depth. They're going to be a very difficult side to beat again this year. That was Murphy to Williams. It's Kelly battling his heart out. He's been a good player for the Swans. That was Mitchell getting it to Murphy. Murphy setting it up in front of goal. They need someone to take a mark. Kappa. It's fisted away from him and over the line. So Essendon doing it well.
And that points to one of the big differences between these two sides. Late in the quarter, the Bombers can drive it forward and have the long arms of Simon Madden waiting for it. The Swans looking for a grab, and it's got to be mark of the year for them to take it.
Ball right up in front of the Swans' goal. Kappa battling away, but the sting seems to have gone out of the Swans, Jared.
Yes, I think you're right there, Peter, which is a little bit disappointing because there's still a long way to go in this game, and as we've seen in previous years, the Swans can kick 3 or 4 and get right back into it.
7 goals, 2 to a behind. Not hard to see that some sting would go out, taken over the line from behind.
Well, Bradley Plain has had the better of Bernatui in this last quarter, and I don't think it would do any harm to have him shifted to the forward line. We've seen him do it once before against the Essendon side, and possibly getting a little bit more goal-kicking power and strength up on that forward line. Maybe a telling difference in the last 10 minutes.
Well, since 3/4 time, we've seen a 42-point turnaround. It's the Bombers now, who trail by 21 points, lead by 21 points, and forward they go again. Considine's got the runners out wide. Izzard has come into his own. Centering kick for Plain. Well, he is having an absolute field day. And speaking of planes, won't they be happy the Bombers going home on Ansett tomorrow morning?
Certainly will, and you wouldn't believe that this bloke had an Achilles tendon problem only a few months ago. He's obviously worked very hard on his injury, and certainly it's paying the dividends tonight.
16th kick coming up. This for his 8th goal. Directly in front from 48 metres. Distance will test him. Yes, he pushes into the pocket. Madden coming in from the side, can't mark, and it drifts over the line. He'll be a very happy young man. .21 points in it. Madden, a flick over the back to try and find O'Brien, can't do so. Kelly gets a hurried kick for Sydney towards the half-back flank. Mark to Bay's not paid. He works hard at the bottom. Out comes Murphy. He's got Roberts running through the middle. Now, can they set up something here? Roberts to Kappa. Wants to go on with it. Does so now. Wide to right. On him is Long. Wright does well to get a kick in towards goal, but he's wide, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I think even Warwick Kappa now believes he can't kick the ball from that distance. Playing on from there was ridiculous, really. He had a player down the field he could have short passed to, and running out where he didn't even know was an option.
Well, he was going to be kicking from 50 metres, so obviously it was going to test him.
45, I think he would have kicked from. So it wasn't good thinking.
Murphy again, trying to get Sydney going. Bounced his way on the 50-metre line. Kicks under pressure. Centering kick. Capper's at the back. And the ball is going to be going to Hamilton.
So they've got a great defence, Essendon, haven't they?
They've tightened up. Hamilton from fullback. Towards Madden. Didn't try and mark. Tried to slap it out the back to Philandia. Right. Comes through. Showed good foresight to get it to Roberts. Now Capper coming from behind, but very, very late. And it's a Sydney mark in front.
I think Paul Kelly may have taken that one over the back. Jason Love's got the ball now, but for mine, Paul Kelly had his hands on it. No, Jason Love's been paid the kick.
15 points in favour of the Bombers, and they have 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes of play left. The Swans in which to win this game. There's Roberts to the half-forward line, and Mark Harvey takes the mark on his chest.
And Jason Love should have done a lot better there. That by not allowing that ball to go to the ground, the Swans had no chance.
There's big Simon Madden flying, and couldn't take it. Good attempt though. The Swans desperately trying to get it forward. There's Cordy trying to sock it off the ground. Murphy a hurry kick to the half-forward line. Izzard, since half-time, has been a good player. Around the boundary line he goes. There's still time for them, Gerard.
Yes, well, the crowd certainly think so. They're chanting Sydney, Sydney, as they often do here. And if they get the next goal, Sydney, I'm sure you'll hear the rafters lifted.
This throw-in is at half-forward for Essendon. I would say if Essendon scored the next goal, it'd be good night to the Swans.
They'll get the hammer out for the nails in the coffin.
I would think so. But if the Swans get it, it'll be a different story, because they would then only be 9 points behind with plenty of time. About 8 minutes of play to go. Now, there's Mitchell to Lewis. Now, is that a free kick to Higgins? No. Umpire calls play on. Izzard has been in everything in this half. Carroll off the ground. Dennis Carroll. This is Peter Philandia. Mark Harvey seems to be playing in defence at the moment. To the half-forward line it goes, and the mark by Simon Madden.
Gee, he's had a telling effect in this last quarter.
He's been good all night, I think, Sandy. Those long arms, when the players get tired, they really do make a difference.
Plain couldn't take it. Neither could Bayes. Comes out to Eustace. Flicking it high. Murphy's got to back into the pack. Does it well. O'Donnell not letting him go. And Murphy wanted to. He's on the wing. They can get the next one. Capper. And again he's at play on. Not being paid. Right. Short into the pocket for Tui. And Bernard Tui, a tight angle, takes the mark. Will history repeat itself?
Have they moved him up forward now, Gerard?
Well, it does appear that he is that up there, and I think from memory, last time he was up there, he did kick a boomerang from that exact same position. I'm wondering what sort of kick he will go for. What would you go for, Peter?
Well, check side.
Drop punt he's using.
Falling down most of the night. McKenzie and Madden. Oh, the thump forward again. Let's see how the desperate side will get this out of the centre. Mark Harvey a quick kick. Lewis trying to crash his way through the pack.
Well, Dale Lewis has just dropped out of the game a little bit. He's one player with his driving left foot kick that could be a telling difference in this last 5 minutes.
9 points the margin. The Bombers look like careering away. The Swans desperately trying to fight back. Anderson chases after it against Murphy. Who's in there? It's McMullen and Wanganeen. Gavin Wanganeen, a clever little chip pass. He's found Michael Long. Michael Long is caught. He's gone short and finds the danger man, Bradley Plain. Now, Plain has kicked 7 goals.
And that really was an ordinary tackle by David Murphy. He had hold of Michael Long. He had him in complete control, as we see here. But through the magical skills, I guess, of Long, he somehow evaded him and passed it off to Plain.
Plain for goal number 8. It looks pretty good. A goal for the Bombers. What a night for Bradley Plain. He's kicked 8. And Essendon stem the tide. 21-17. Sydney Swans 19-14.
Well, there's over 4 minutes to go, and Murph really does have to make amends for that performance. It's a pretty poor tackle. and resulted in Bradley Plain having one of his easier shots at goal tonight, and he really has had a few of those.
3 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, and 3 in the last. Centre bounce again. Madden with a mighty left hand down towards half forward. It's going to be repelled. Higgins, can he get clear? Yes, he can. Sneaks away from Philandia to half forward. Tui. Bernard Tui will be too far out to score. Nettlebeck, Kappa, perhaps even shorter.
Too slow kicking it.
It does go short now. Kappa. The distance should not be a problem.
Well, once again, these are the goals that good full forwards do kick. Jason Dunstall straight back and kick it, and here we see Warwick Kappa even
Peter Hudson
doing the Peter Hudson trick, marking the ground.
Stuart Lowe.
And I guess if he kicks this one, we'll see him doing it every week from now.
From 40 metres. Lays back on a drop punt. That might struggle for the distance. Was it touched? One behind. Well,
and the man who touched it.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Well, that's the problem. If you can't kick goals from 35, 40 metres and you're full forward, why? Well, you've got problems.
Flood to the outer side. Over the back, through the hands of Cransburn. Bays. Pressure from Anderson. Murphy to Eustace. Flicks it even wider. McKenzie. Short, too short. McMullen intercepts in the middle. Plays on to Long. Look at Michael Long. Stretch away. In towards Izard and Ian Roberts. Izard in front. Got a hand to it. And has help. Cransburg. Centering kick. No one at home. Ball swings away towards Henwood. Oh, Moose. Could be costly. Somerville. The handball away to Wanganeen. The left foot high snap. Looks pretty good. That's another one to the Bombers. And a little bit of frustration from Henwood showing there with Somerville, but I'm afraid, Moose, you've got to look up at the scoreboard. It shows another goal to Essendon.
Well, he really has been a telling factor, Peter Somerville. He's improved his game considerably since the last time I saw him at the end of last year, and this year he's been a terrific player, and on that occasion was responsible for that goal. Wayne Henwood fumbled at the crucial moment, and Somerville turned the ball over.
An amazing turnaround. Top class performance this by Essendon. Madden has been magnificent again. Cordy. Oh, too many Essendon players. Philandia has done some great things too. To Burns.
Played well.
Tapped on by McMullen. So has McMullen played well. Over to Izard. Unselfish play. That was top play looking for Somerville. Couldn't take the mark. Ian Roberts ran into a brick wall. Almost holding the ball that. And the umpire will pay exactly that. And it has not been the night of Ian Roberts. So another goal may be coming up with the Bombers. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, well, a bit of an iffy one there, I thought, Peter. Robbo put the hand out. Sure, he fended him, but I think Wanganeen can consider himself a little bit lucky to get this shot at goal.
Gavin Wanganeen started on interchange. He's only kicked one goal. Only had a few touches, but he's directly in front. There's the drop punt. It's another one to the Bombers. So Gavin Wanganeen has kicked his second, and Essendon careering away again, 23-17. Sydney Swans 19-15.
Well, Wanganeen has come into his own in the last 5 minutes. He's kicked two crucial goals in the last quarter and really has played his part in burying the Swans.
What an extraordinary turnaround. That's the scoring end, Jared. Is that what you're going to say? Sydney enjoyed it in the third quarter. And
yes.
Essendon are loving it now.
Well, having a look at those flags there, there's no wind advantage. So I guess really it's a mental thing there for the Swans. Obviously they've dropped their bundle, and I'm sure Kevin Sheedy will be ecstatic with the way that his players have lifted, particularly across the centre line.
Yes, those flags and the Ansett windsock, very, very still. Back in the middle again, Madden with a left-handed hoik, looking for Wanganeen. Eustace beats him on this occasion. Wide towards Murphy and Anderson. Lewis. Sweeping hand pass to Carroll, who may just about get clear to have a shot here from 55. Goes onto the left foot. Does so. It's a long kick in towards full forward. Danaher got a hand to it, and it's a behind. So the dying seconds of this game will see Essendon victorious, and all goes well for the Bombers. With the injury problems they've had, Sheedy has asked these players to do the job tonight, and my word, they've done it remarkably well.
Well, all I can say is a top-class performance this by Essendon. There are stages during the game. This man's led the way. Madden, there's plenty of life left in him. Stephen Wright to the half-forward line. Ed Considine, a much improved player, hooks it back looking for Madden. Leon Higgins, brilliant early, not so good in the second half. His first half was terrific. Gary O'Donnell has done the job well on Greg Williams, as he normally does when he's given the tagging role. Here's danger again because Burns has got it, kicks it to the half-forward line. All Essendon down there, beautifully picked up. That was magnificent play, McMullen, and taps it through for a goal. Tremendous skill displayed then by Ian McMullen, and that's his third.
Well, I'm sure Cole Kinnear will be very disappointed with the way this last 5 minutes has turned out. Whilst he'd be bitterly disappointed with the loss, the real fight has gone out of the Swans, and there wasn't anybody putting any pressure whatsoever on McMullen there, and that was almost like a training run.
Every picture tells a story. So the dying seconds for Sydney and Cole Kinnear. 31 points the margin. Kelly. He had a good first half, but has been tamed in the second. Down to half forward. Philandia and Hurd combine. But there it is as Hamilton picks it up on the half-back flank. It's all over, and victory to the Bombers. A thrilling win too to come from behind. Essendon victorious with an 11-goal blast in the final term. 24-17, 161. Sydney 19-16, 130. Bernard Toohey, who was moved down to the forward line, kicked a goal, and we all thought, is this shades of yesteryear, if he could come back. But the hero of the night is right there in centre screen. Bradley Plain finished with 8 goals, 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the fourth, and he's receiving the congratulations that he deserves from his teammates at Windy Hill. Repeating the final score here at the SCG, the Bombers keep their unbeaten run intact, 24-17 to 19-16. Scoreline here at the SCG. Sydney booted 9 goals in the third quarter, and then Essendon came out and charged away with an 11-goal blast, 24-17, 160 depth that is at Windy Hill.
Oh, amazing depth. Well, we mentioned, I won't go through them now, but the number of players they had out, and they were able to capitalise on the Swans' mistakes. And you see even the handballs, the Swans 105 to 88, so they had plenty of the ball, but Essendon looked far more dangerous up in attack, and that's due. Look at the hit-outs, 45 to Essendon. I thought Madden set a fine example in the ruck, but I think when it went down Essendon's forward line, Gerard, they looked far more dangerous, and the Swans really need another.
Had a superb night.
Well, he was the hero of the night as far as Essendon's concerned. Kicks and marks were irrelevant, I guess, as far as he's concerned, but 8 goals won was a magnificent performance, and you'd probably say he was best on the ground, Peter. McMullen, well, his second half I thought was sensational. He was in a tagging role early, but then he went onto the half-forward flank, had 15 kicks and 5 handballs, and finished with 3.
Yes, let's now have a look at the ladder, bearing in mind that, of course, this is just the start